Thinking of buying a house but not sure where to start? No worries, because here is the home buying process for buying a house in Georgia in 10 steps. Hi, I'm Daphne Bousquet with eXp Realty in the greater Atlanta area, and I have worked with all sorts of clients, from first-time home buyers to luxury home buyers, from people relocating from other states to people moving only a few miles away. I've worked with cash buyers and with buyers who were credit challenged. I've worked with investors and people buying their forever home. And these 10 steps vary based on where you are in your home buying journey, but it is an excellent starting point. When you're thinking about buying a home, the groundwork gets laid months, if not years in advance. So the first step is saving for a down payment. Does that mean you have to save 20% of the purchase price? No! Contrary to popular belief, down payments can be as low as 3.5% of the purchase price. And if you are a veteran or are buying in a rural area, there are loans that don't require any down payment. However, you do also need to factor in closing costs and moving expenses. So figure in at least another 3% to that. And depending on the state of the market and the house you are buying, the sellers could actually contribute to those closing costs. Don't count on that though. It's better to have that saved up. And if you get your closing costs paid, you can always use that money for renovations, repairs, or new furniture. There are also down payment assistance programs available for various types of buyers, so that could be an option as well. Step 2 is knowing your credit score. This will determine a variety of things, most importantly your interest rate on the mortgage. One thing to keep in mind is that your credit score on the credit apps like Credit Karma is not the same score that lenders work from. You can have a score of 640 on the app, and when the lender pulls your credit, your score could be substantially lower than that. And you may wonder what the minimum credit score is that you need to have. Generally, that is about a 580. Of course, the higher the better. Not just because of the interest rates, but when you have a lower credit score, mortgage lenders will have overlays or conditions that are attached to the mortgage. You'll have more options when your credit score hits 620 or 640. And good lenders will offer credit direction and ways you can improve your credit if you need that. I'm happy to hook you up with my favorite lenders. Just reach out to me. My contact information is in the description. Step 3 is finding yourself an agent. Make sure you interview a few agents and don't simply use the first one that was recommended to you by a friend or family member. We all have different strengths and weaknesses. So make sure you find one that works for your situation and personality. You also want one who has strong negotiation skills and knowledge of the area you want to buy in. If you are thinking of buying in the Atlanta area, I would be thrilled to help you. If not, I have an extensive network of agents all over the country and even the world, and can refer you to an agent that meets the highest standards. Step 4 is getting pre-approved. Don't go house hunting before you are pre-approved. The last thing you want to do is find that perfect house only to realize that your pre-approval came up tens of thousands of dollars short. Especially with interest rates so volatile these days, you want to know how much you can afford based on the interest rates. Even a 0.5% increase or decrease of the mortgage rates will affect your purchasing power by a substantial amount. So get pre-approved so you know exactly what you're working with. By the way, I have a great buyer's guide that includes my favorite lenders, and the link is in the description. So now that you are pre-approved for a mortgage, it is time for the fun part. Let's go shopping! And this is what most people think of when they think about buying a home. It's actually finding the property you want and settling on a price. So step 5 is finding the home. Depending on the market, this can be anywhere from a week up to a couple of years. It all depends on the price point you're searching in and the current market conditions. Over the last couple of years, the competition for homes has been fierce, and there were very few homes on the market. Homes went under contract almost as soon as they hit the market, so it was key to jump on a property and go look at it immediately and really offer on it. Sometimes it took making offers on many homes before you finally got one, especially if your price point is at or below the median price point in the area. You have more competition from other buyers. When there are more homes on the market, you have more homes to choose from, which is nice. You can be a little choosier, and when homes are on the market longer, you also have more leverage in negotiating. Once we find a house, we move to step number 6, which is making an offer. Once again, depending on the market conditions, your offer may be under or over listing price, either with contingencies or not. Contingencies are just additional requirements that both parties agree upon before the property is officially sold. For instance, if you have to sell your house before you can close on a new one, you can add that as a contingency. There are financing and appraisal contingencies and repair contingencies. One of the big ones we use here in Georgia is the due diligence period, during which you can back out of the contract for any reason. We use that to get the inspections, which brings us to step number 7. You need to get the property inspected. Home inspections are a hugely important aspect of the process of buying a home because they tell you everything your eyes can't tell you about the property. These inspections can then determine whether the property needs repairs or the offer price needs to be adjusted based on the actual condition of the house. In addition to a general home inspection, you can have your home inspected for radon, have the sewer or septic inspected, the swimming pool, etc. The main purpose is to find out any safety issues and issues you can't readily see. Your inspector will give you a long list of items, but don't expect the seller to fix everything. Most of the things are minor issues that are a part of being a homeowner. It is the big unexpected issues that need to be negotiated. For instance, I have negotiated a $50,000 reduction in the purchase price after an inspection for one client. Another client got a new roof, and other clients got all their closing costs covered. However, many times my clients decided that items were minor and would take care of them themselves. Step 8 in this process is getting the home appraisal. The appraisal is all about ensuring the house is actually worth what you've agreed to pay. If the appraisal comes in under the purchase price, the lender will likely not loan out past what the property is appraised at. That means that you as the buyer will need to come up with that extra money to fill the gap between the appraisal value and the offer. And this is where the appraisal contingency comes in. The appraisal contingency covers you if the appraisal comes in low. If the appraisal comes in over the agreed upon purchase price, you, the buyer, are in great shape because the loan will easily cover the offer price and you have built-in equity. Then step 9, right before we close, is the final walkthrough. This is where we determine if the house is still standing and if it is in the same condition as when you signed the contract. Generally, this is a formality, but there have been instances where buyers have discovered major leaks or items that were removed from the property that were supposed to be included. When major issues arise at the final walkthrough, that can delay the closing. If you go ahead and close, you pretty much accept the house as it is during the walkthrough, and you have no more leverage after you sign the paperwork. However, when all is good, the final step is closing the sale. Once the loan is approved, you schedule a closing date to sign the final paperwork. Here in Georgia, we do that at a closing attorney's office. We head there right after the final walkthrough. And closing is a festive occasion where the buyers and sellers get together, sign all the paperwork, and transfer the property. Once you make those final signatures and the loan gets funded, you get the keys and you'll officially own the house. Congratulations! Check out this video next. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. New videos come out every Monday, and I'll see you next week.